The stage lights carved through darkness like spotlights searching the void. Bass-heavy music throbbed from the sound system, amplifying the crowd's already electric mood. Thunderous applause ricocheted between studio walls covered in glossy promotional materials and glowing neon displays. The atmosphere crackled with expectation. Tonight's special guest had just entered. Leonardo DiCaprio moved across the stage carrying himself with understated authority. His outfit spoke of deliberate simplicity: denim jeans, an unadorned black tee, and a jacket that seemed chosen specifically not to draw attention. He traversed the space unhurriedly, his gaze sweeping the audience without any suggestion of performance. A modest acknowledgement from his lips, almost intimate in nature. With minimal fanfare, he took his seat. Behind the stage curtain, Liza maintained her position, one palm against her waist while her other hand secured a phone within her jacket. Her facial expression contrasted sharply with the festive environment. No hint of amusement crossed her features. She observed, calculating. A pair of producers huddled near a television monitor, speaking in hushed tones. "We'll get something tonight," the first declared. His colleague's mouth curved upward. "The man's too composed, too controlled." "That changes now." Every syllable reached Liza's ears. She remained motionless. Activating the recording function on her device, she tucked it further into her garment. Under the lights, Jimmy launched the program with characteristic enthusiasm. "Ladies and gentlemen, we have something extraordinary tonight," he announced to the viewers. "Our guest doesn't just act in films, he's a warrior poet. Someone who can recite verse while assembling a firearm." The crowd erupted. Leonardo responded with restrained acknowledgement, as though the compliments were meant for another person. Jimmy angled himself forward, teeth gleaming. "Leonardo, you've brought something new to share. A quieter venture this round? No pyrotechnics?" Leonardo inclined his head once. "A documentary," came his response. "Titled Between Silences. It examines belief, how we occasionally discover purpose not through sound, but within intervals." "Heavy stuff," Jimmy commented, brows lifting. "Explain this fixation with quiet moments. The world's noisy enough. What's truly difficult is maintaining appearances when everything's fractured," Leonardo stated. "Stillness isn't withdrawal. Often it's survival mechanism." Jimmy's laugh carried nervous energy. "All right then. Starting philosophical early this evening." From her vantage point backstage, Liza remained rigid. Her attention fixed on Jimmy's prompter cards as her features hardened upon spotting several highlighted terms: internet jokes, spiritual symbols, pendant, contemplative life. Leonardo's posture in the chair became more upright. Perhaps more rigid. His lips maintained their curve, yet his physical presence had grown quiet, reminiscent of prey detecting danger. "This documentary consumed 4 years," Jimmy continued, shuffling his notes. "Working solo, avoiding human contact for extended periods. Rather intense approach. Constant communication becomes its own extremity," Leonardo responded plainly. Jimmy's reaction came automatically, reflexively. "Consider yourself possibly overly earnest, friend?" Leonardo showed no reaction. Earnestness doesn't eliminate happiness. It introduces intention. Scattered applause emerged from the audience. Jimmy's teeth remained visible, though something beneath faltered minutely. "Observe yourself," he continued, indicating Leonardo's bearing. "Contemporary aesthetic, upgraded footwear though. Is this perpetual state? Performance piece?" "Performance doesn't interest me," Leonardo stated. The following quiet carried weight rather than theatricality. Jimmy hastily retrieved another prompt, anxious to redirect. "Tonight stays entertaining. Audiences seek comedy, not counseling sessions, correct everyone?" His appeal to the spectators generated programmed laughter. Leonardo offered nothing. His attention had momentarily dropped to Jimmy's prompt cards, and a transformation occurred. His ankles realigned gradually. His spine met the chair differently, not seeking comfort but readiness. Any trace of amusement disappeared, replaced not by hostility but comprehension. Behind the curtain, Liza's words emerged as barely audible breath. "They're provoking," he recognizes it. The viewers maintained their amusement, oblivious that the stillness occupying Jimmy's adjacent seat wasn't inactive. It was poised. The backdrop display illuminated suddenly with vivid graphics. Jimmy pivoted toward the spectators, eyes sparkling. "We've collected internet content," he declared, practically vibrating with anticipation. "The digital sphere adores our guest. Time to review their interpretations across recent years." Cheers arose. Leonardo's focus remained on the display. The initial visual materialized, a low-resolution photograph showing him outside medical facilities, solitary, face covered by mask and hood. Digital editors had superimposed an animated aureole above him, inserted text reading, "Saint Tactical," in cartoon font, and warped his features using ridiculous effects. Explosive mirth filled the space. Jimmy indicated the display, beaming. Seriously though, purchasing medication and still resembling humanity's protector. The gathering howled. Leonardo's lips remained motionless. His palms sat peacefully together. Any suggestion of amusement had evaporated. Additional imagery emerged, a formal event capture focusing on the metallic crucifix adorning his throat. Jimmy positioned himself closer, tone frivolous. "Behold, combat specialist maintaining confessional appointments." Increased volume accompanied the amusement. Several attendees produced whistles. An anonymous voice declared, "Deliver sermon, Leonardo." No visible response. Merely measured blinking. Behind the scenes, Liza stood immobilized. Her mandible contracted. That particular cross held personal significance, she had personally delivered it following memorial services. Its meaning was intimate. Jimmy, still surfing audience reactions, persisted. "Truthfully, Leonardo, have you embraced monastic life? Or excellently portraying someone suppressing irritation?" The space suspended breathing. Jimmy himself appeared conscious of overstepping. Leonardo maintained vocal consistency. Never altered demeanor. "Suffering I've experienced," he spoke gently, demonstrated that quietude communicates too. Amusement ceased. Attendees adjusted positions. Several offered applause, hesitant, honoring. Others appeared disoriented. Jimmy's throat produced clearing sounds. Attempted smiling resulted crooked. "Understood, deserve that," he acknowledged. "Simply maintaining levity. You embody ambulatory verse." Uncertain how to process. Leonardo provided minimal acknowledgement. "Perhaps simply receive," he suggested. Jimmy released uncomfortable sounds, reviewing notes again. Genuine mirth had departed. Additionally, he proceeded, discovered social media post stating, direct quotation, "Leonardo DiCaprio represents compassion developing musculature." Accurate assessment? "Compassion requires no physical strength," Leonardo answered. "Demands attendance." Jimmy released his card. "Honestly, always this way?" Leonardo maintained direct contact. "Meaning withholding amusement when suffering belongs elsewhere?" Spectators entered peculiar quietness, not discomfort but charged, electric. Front row occupants ceased smiling. Jimmy breathed out, attempting redirection, elevating limbs conductor-style orchestrating invisible ensemble. "Time for variety, entertainment segment, agreeable?" The backdrop flickered anew. Bold lettering materialized, "Fact or fiction, Leonardo version." Jimmy addressed cameras again. "Mechanics are simple," he explained. "Display narrative, Leonardo determines authenticity versus digital fabrication." Addressing Leonardo, wide smile intact, "Acceptable?" Leonardo remained static. Then delivered deliberately, "My purpose here differs." Jimmy's eyelids fluttered. "Pardon?" Leonardo adjusted minimally, vocal consistency maintained. This discussion became exhibition. "Role-playing doesn't interest me." Several viewers applauded softly. Others surveyed surroundings uncertainly. Jimmy's smile appeared forced. "Friend, everything's taken gravely seriously." Leonardo advanced marginally. "Speech even. Gaze unwavering. Perhaps authentic experience necessary." The statement settled weightily, stone meeting undisturbed water. Jimmy's eyes blinked repeatedly, destabilized. The smile had completely dissolved. His jaw parted, producing silence. Behind cameras, the technical assistant observed the director's booth. The supervisor spoke tensely to staff, "He's reversing control. Leonardo's inverting everything." Center stage, Jimmy remained static. Single palm touching cards, opposite hand on thigh. Surrounding them, all merriment had completely dissipated. Something different occupied that vacuum. Something unscripted. Several beats passed. Jimmy produced no words. His attention remained on Leonardo, vision shifting as though pursuing escaped comedy. No amusement remained for rescue. Merely overhead fixtures buzzing and spectators' stillness suddenly questioning their entertainment choice. Leonardo broke silence. "My sibling perished, vehicular collision," he stated softly. 20 years old. 24 months sleeping beside medical equipment. Nobody stirred. "My child arrived stillborn. Her mother and I interred her during precipitation across elevated terrain. Ava, her designation." Audible inhalation emerged somewhere among watchers. Closest companion struck timber at excessive velocity. Vehicle detonated. "My presence was expected that evening." Jimmy's position altered, pupils dilated. These revelations weren't solicited. No prepared responses existed. Quietness became choice, Leonardo persisted. Not from verbal poverty, but because available words seemed insufficient. Behind staging, Liza's palm covered her mouth. Her vision locked onto Leonardo, moisture forming. "Inquiries about my reserve," he stated. "About non-retaliation. Because I've already navigated through most destructive cacophony." Jimmy's vocal cords engaged. "Listen friend, intention wasn't, merely attempting mood elevation slightly." Leonardo's focus remained steady. "Understanding humor's defensive properties." Acknowledged. "However, transforming another's bereavement into entertainment, what's the actual objective?" Jimmy's lids moved deliberately before producing excessive smile. "Return to enjoyment, yes." He indicated the display repeatedly. "Avoid excessive darkness." Fresh graphics emerged, identify Leonardo's authentic story. Images and titles flashed vibrantly. Leonardo purchases frozen desserts for production team, Leonardo covertly sponsors medical facilities, Leonardo dines solitarily in public space. Jimmy's palms met audibly. "Select the genuine account, Leonardo." Leonardo ignored the projection entirely. "This lacks game qualities," he stated. Wrong venue. Subsequent quietness wasn't discomfort, something had audibly fractured atmospherically. Subdued discussion rippled through attendees. Some maintained uncertain grins. Others began repositioning themselves, comfort levels decreasing. Jimmy attempted again, vocal edge emerging. "Constant gravity defines everything. Possibly that's problematic. Relaxation might benefit." Leonardo showed no physical response. "Moving closer, tone consistent, authentic feeling might benefit you." Jimmy's features wavered. For the evening's first instance, his persona slipped fractionally. Behind operations, the supervisor advanced. "Controls escaping," she murmured. Leonardo's completely redirecting everything. Center stage, Jimmy remained motionless, extremities slack against armrests. His expression had entirely fallen. Environmental energy surrounding had transformed irreversibly. The interval extended excessively. Jimmy's jaw tensed while repositioning himself. Digits struck the armrest twice. Then emerged laughter, abbreviated, artificial, acute. Performance suggests superiority, he vocalized louder than previously. As though hushed tones and downward gazes create sanctity. That's not modesty, Leonardo, it's ego masquerading as profundity. Collective intake swept the space. Leonardo showed no physical response. Gentle speech isn't ego, came his answer. But distorting anguish into viral content, that qualifies. Jimmy advanced, now pointing, volume escalating, fuck you, Leonardo. The profanity impacted like masonry through crystal. Collective gasps undulated through spectators. Rear section produced, whoa. Multiple devices elevated, recording instantaneously. Everything suspended, illumination, recording equipment, audio, all captured within boundaries none anticipated crossing. Leonardo displayed no reaction. His vision maintained Jimmy's position, unblinking. Behind fabric barriers, Liza's respiration halted. She progressed forward, positioned between concealment and spotlight's periphery. Movement ceased there, entire form taut, anticipating intervention necessity. Jimmy's rapid blinking suggested delayed comprehension. Fury evacuated his expression, substituted by near terror. Yet Leonardo didn't stand, didn't amplify volume, didn't provide chaos's requested response. Rather, he approached gradually, tranquil throughout. His vocalization like granite encased in silk. During one discussion, he initiated, "You mentioned paternal abandonment during youth, expressed concern about perceived weakness." Jimmy's mouth separated wordlessly. Leonardo's tone remained subdued. "Currently you're present, ridiculing another's mourning, their quietude, their convictions. But recognition exists. This behavior's source, intimate knowledge of mockery's impact. Complete audience silence, no disturbances, no movement, only respiration and focus." Leonardo sustained Jimmy's attention. "This evening you've become the figure who once diminished you." Jimmy processed slowly. Extremities lowered. Among spectators, individual applause began. Additional joined. More followed. Not overwhelming but consistent. Genuine. Wave-like progression nobody requested yet everyone sensed approaching. Behind staging, Liza's vision produced moisture. No wiping occurred. Observation continued. Lips compressed firmly. Jimmy attempted smiling, facial muscles proved uncooperative. His grasp sought coffee container, digits collided instead. Vessel tilted. Liquid spread across surface descending floorward, approaching platform boundary. This instant suspended, not theatrical conclusion but something more subdued. Irreversibly transformative. Recovery attempts began. Control restoration efforts, but ownership had transferred. The container's motion continued, discharging final contents groundward. Jimmy remained motionless regarding retrieval. Gaze descended, mandible tight, shoulders squared, yet vision had lost mooring. Opposite him, Leonardo maintained composure, no longer appearing inactive. It appeared justified. "That published discussion," he voiced quietly, audible to Jimmy yet perceptible to spectators. "Where weakness accusations exceeded cruelty mentions." Jimmy withheld response. Respiratory rate had accelerated. Leonardo repositioned slightly forward, speech stable, description of paternal departure, household silence surpassing arguments. Volume adoption preventing fear detection. Jimmy's expression fractured minutely, glass webbing before fragmentation. "Comprehension exists regarding mockery," Leonardo stated. Experiencing doubt, interrogation about feelings. Yet here, creating another's ridicule. Following silence witnessed spectators frozen, uncertainty absent. Accountability's moment. Transformation into previous tormentor, Leonardo declared. No resentment-colored delivery, pure truth, direct, unwavering. Jimmy's silence extended. Visible throat constriction preceded abbreviated laughter, arid, protective. Personal knowledge presumed? The inquiry lacked conviction. Leonardo maintained position. No, understanding pain's human impact. Solitary applause emerged. Secondary participation. Then, rippling through stillness, expansion followed. Recording devices documented growth, recognition rather than performance. Jimmy surveyed gatherers, stunned. Unfamiliarity with spotlit positioning minus authority, not thus. Not authentically. Behind curtains, Liza observed while tears descended. No removal attempted. Measured inhalation occurred. Palm pressed lightly against chest. Stage center, Jimmy positioned forearms deskward, cranium lowered. Subsequent words emerged quieter, unintended progression. Acknowledged, Leonardo answered, yet occurred. The interval stretched, unrefined, unmanufactured. Subsequently, wordlessly, Jimmy displaced moisture-laden prompters sideways. Manual tremor evident. Documents adhered forming sodden ink chaos. Suddenly, the environment transcended studio parameters. Reflection dominated. Stillness prevailed. Lighting continued. Cameras persisted. Yet foundational transformation had occurred spatially. Jimmy maintained stillness, vision lowered, encircled by aqueous paper disorder. Central positioning had shifted elsewhere. Leonardo elevated himself. Without theatrics. No slamming or departure storms. His rising matched arrival methodology, subdued. Intentional. Moment's gravity accompanied his pivot audience ward. Complete attention followed. Lateral security initiated advancement uncertainty. Liza's emergence from sidelines included gentle contact upon officer's forearm. Permit departure, she instructed. His conditions. Leonardo hesitated platform adjacent. Crowd observation occurred, not scanning, not soliciting ovation. Simple witnessing. Comprehensive. Gratitude for reception, he expressed. Not personally directed, toward significance. Momentary silence preceded collective rising, wave pattern emergence, palms meeting gradually ascending recognition rather than festivity. Acknowledgement dominated acoustics. Jimmy sustained seated position. Gaze remained lowered. Leonardo awaited neither signal nor soundtrack. Platform departure mirrored lifetime methodology, unheralded. Deliberate. Steadfast. Digital explosion occurred within hours. Leonardo exits Fallon following tense dialogue, spectators redirect against Jimmy after miscalculation, DiCaprio exhibits masterful composure under duress. Broadcasters analyzed. Commentary sections accumulated terms, regard, self-respect, someone finally vocalized. Drama no longer defined the instance. Complete transformation had occurred. Authenticity emerged. Studio exterior, beneath muted street illumination, Liza presented Leonardo's device. Observation warranted, she indicated. Downward glance revealed illuminated interface. His composed departure recording had exceeded 1 million observations. Metrics climbed exponentially. Brief contemplation preceded nasal exhalation, not precisely amusement but proximity. Possibly, emerged his response, genuine reception occurring. Device entered pocket. Evening atmosphere circulated gently. Tranquil. Unrestricted. Departure from structure into darkness, into existence, into forthcoming developments. For once, global attention persisted. Thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoy this video and learned a lesson. I would be grateful for your likes. Also don't forget to subscribe and comment on the video. See you soon.